Right now, somewhere over American airspace, a fighter jet is flying that shouldn't exist. Not because it's secret, not because it's invisible, but because it was built from a design that first flew when Richard Nixon was president. And yet today, this aircraft can carry more weapons than any fighter in history, fire hypersonic missiles, command autonomous drone swarms, jam enemy air defenses like a dedicated electronic warfare jet, and receive new combat abilities through software updates while sitting on the ramp. So here's the real question. Why did the US Air Force go backwards to move forward? Why, in an era obsessed with stealth, did the Pentagon double down on a non-stealth fighter? And what does the F-15EX know how to do that even the F-35 and F-22 can't? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this aircraft is quietly reshaping air superiority and why adversary air forces are scrambling to respond. Before we break it down, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our deep dive videos on military aviation and next generation warfare. And stick around until the end, because the final capability explains everything, including why the Air Force believes the F-15EX will still be dominant well into the 2040s. Let's start with the capability that shocked even seasoned defense analysts. Number 1. The weapons truck that rewrote the rules of air combat. At first glance, this sounds exaggerated, but it's not. The F-15EX can carry 29,500 pounds of weapons. That's not a typo. To put that into perspective, that's more than the empty weight of an entire F-16 Fighting Falcon. No other fighter aircraft in American history comes close, and this isn't a theoretical number pulled from a brochure. The F-15EX reached full operational capability in July 2024, and this payload capacity is already being integrated into real-world war planning. So how did Boeing pull this off? The answer lies in something most people overlook: the wings. Earlier F-15s were limited not by engine power, but by structural flutter, vibrations that made additional weapon stations unsafe at high speeds. The F-15EX eliminated that problem completely. Boeing redesigned the wing structure and introduced full digital fly-by-wire flight controls, removing the mechanical limitations that plagued older Eagles. That single change unlocked 2 additional weapon stations that previous F-15s simply couldn't use. Now the Eagle II features 12 external hardpoints plus 2 conformal weapon stations integrated directly into the fuselage. That's 14 stations total, and every one of them usable at combat speeds. But the real shock came during missile testing. In January 2023, the Air Force loaded an F-15EX with 12 air-to-air missiles for flight trials. Standard F-15S Max out at 8. Then engineers went further. Using advanced missile racks and the conformal fuel tank stations, they proved the aircraft can theoretically carry up to 22 air-to-air missiles in a single loadout. 22. That's more missiles than some countries have operational fighter jets. And here's where this changes everything. Modern air combat isn't about one jet versus one jet anymore. It's about networks. An F-35 flying stealthily ahead can detect enemy aircraft at extreme ranges, but stealth comes with a trade-off: limited internal weapons. Now pair that F-35 with an F-15EX flying safely behind it. The F-35 becomes the sensor. The F-15EX becomes the arsenal. The stealth jet identifies targets. The Eagle II fires the missiles. This concept's known as distributed lethality, and the Pentagon refers to the F-15EX as an arsenal aircraft. It doesn't need to penetrate heavily defended airspace. It sits just outside the threat envelope, carrying enough missiles to support multiple stealth fighters simultaneously. And despite carrying this massive payload, the F-15EX can still hit Mach 2.5, roughly 1,875 miles per hour. That's thanks to its twin F110GE129 engines, each producing 29,000 pounds of thrust. Even fully loaded, the aircraft maintains a thrust-to-weight ratio that keeps it fast, agile, and lethal. The Air Force validated this concept during 19 large force employment exercises in 2023, where the F-15EX successfully deployed AIM-9X Sidewinders, AIM-120, AMRAAMS, small-diameter bombs, and long-range cruise missiles, all in the same test series. One aircraft, multiple mission types, no need to return to base, but carrying more missiles than any fighter in history is only the beginning, because what the F-15EX does with those weapons depends on a sensor suite so powerful that it can see threats other fighters can't even detect. Number 2. A radar and electronic warfare suite that turns the sky hostile. At the heart of the F-15EX sits one of the most powerful fighter radars ever built, the AN/APG-82V1AESA radar. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a generational leap. Traditional radars rely on a mechanically steered dish. The APG-82 uses thousands of independent transmit-receive modules, each capable of operating on its own frequency. That means the radar can track multiple air targets, map ground terrain, detect maritime threats, jam enemy sensors, all at the same time. No pauses, no switching modes, but the radar is only half the story. The real game changer is the Eagle Passive Active Warning Survivability System, known as EPAWSS. This electronic warfare suite completed initial operational testing in April 2024, and what it does borders on science fiction. EPAWSS doesn't just react to threats, it predicts them. The system analyzes enemy radar emissions, identifies patterns, and builds a threat profile in real time. If an enemy radar changes frequency or mode, EPAWSS adapts instantly. Defensively, it can detect incoming missiles, automatically deploy countermeasures, create tailored jamming responses. Offensively, it goes even further. EPAWSS can actively jam enemy air defense systems, degrading their ability to track not just the F-15EX, but nearby friendly aircraft as well. That effectively turns the Eagle II into a miniature electronic warfare platform, similar in function to specialized aircraft like the EA-18G Growler. And the Air Force isn't stopping there. They're developing cognitive electronic warfare for the F-15EX. This uses artificial intelligence to analyze the electromagnetic battlefield and respond faster than any human operator ever could. The system learns. Every encounter makes it smarter. All of this is managed by the Advanced Display Core Processor 2, the fastest mission computer ever installed in a fighter aircraft. It processes sensor data, manages weapons, runs electronic warfare programs, and coordinates with other aircraft simultaneously. The cockpit itself is fully digital, with large area displays that give pilots a level of situational awareness previous generations could only dream of. Operational testing in late 2023 confirmed the F-15EX met or exceeded every reliability and effectiveness requirement set by the Air Force. And these systems enable the aircraft to perform a role no previous fighter was designed for, commanding the battlefield itself. Number 3. Controlling autonomous drone swarms like a flying command center. The future of air combat isn't just manned fighters, it's manned fighters working alongside autonomous aircraft. And the F-15EX is positioned to become the quarterback of that formation. The Air Force is actively testing interoperability between the F-15EX and Collaborative Combat Aircraft, or CCAS. These aren't simple drones, they are AI-powered autonomous platforms capable of independent decision-making within mission parameters. Here's why the F-15EX is uniquely suited for this role. It's a two-seat aircraft. The pilot in the front focuses on flying and employing weapons. The weapons systems officer in the rear manages multiple autonomous aircraft. Think of it like this. One F-15EX controls 4 CC as each carrying sensors, weapons or jamming payloads. That's effectively a 5-aircraft formation controlled by 2 people. These drones can scout ahead into defended airspace, draw enemy fire to expose air defenses, engage hostile aircraft, suppress surface-to-air missile sites. If a drone is lost, no pilot dies. The F-15EX's mission computer has the processing power to manage multiple data streams simultaneously, displaying drone positions, threat data, and battlefield status on a single interface. Secure, jam-resistant communication links ensure control even in contested environments. This transforms the Eagle II from a fighter into a mobile command node, and it's all enabled by something few people talk about: software. Number 4. Hypersonic weapons integration that changes strategic warfare. The F-15EX isn't just carrying more weapons, it's carrying weapons that current defenses can't stop. Hypersonic missiles. We're talking about speeds exceeding Mach 5, more than 3,800 miles per hour, with unpredictable flight paths that render traditional missile defense systems nearly useless. The AGM-183 air-launched rapid response weapon was designed with the F-15EX in mind. Unlike most fighters, the Eagle II can carry weapons up to 22 feet long. That opens the door to hypersonic boost-glide vehicles, large cruise missiles, and future munitions that don't even exist yet. The aircraft doesn't need to enter defended airspace. It launches from standoff range. The missile covers the rest of the distance in minutes. By the time defenders react, the target is already destroyed. This gives the F-15EX strategic relevance far beyond traditional fighters. It becomes a launch platform for weapons that compress decision time to near zero. And the Air Force is also funding air-breathing hypersonic cruise missiles, which the F-15EX is expected to carry early in their operational life. But none of this would matter if the aircraft couldn't evolve. That brings us to the most important capability of all. Number 5. Open mission systems that let the jet evolve faster than any fighter ever built. This is the capability that explains everything. Why the Air Force chose the F-15EX, why critics were wrong, and why this aircraft will stay relevant for decades. The F-15EX uses open mission systems architecture. Traditional fighters require years of hardware modifications to integrate new capabilities. The F-15EX doesn't. New systems plug in, like apps on a smartphone. Boeing has already demonstrated deploying containerized software across multiple aircraft with no recompilation. That means new electronic warfare tactics, new weapons integrations, new sensor fusion algorithms can be rolled out in weeks instead of years. Some planners have even discussed updating systems while the aircraft is airborne. This is why the Air Force chose the F-15EX instead of buying more F-35s. The Eagle II fills a critical gap right now while offering unmatched adaptability for the future. 70% of its parts are shared with existing F-15s maintenance crews transition in days. Pilots transition in weeks, but under the skin, it's an entirely new aircraft. The Air Force expects the F-15EX to operate effectively into the 2040s and beyond, continuously evolving through software rather than expensive redesigns. The F-15EX proves that innovation isn't always about starting from scratch. Sometimes it's about taking a proven platform and pushing it further than anyone thought possible. From record-breaking weapons loads to hypersonic strike capability, from commanding autonomous drone swarms to electronic warfare dominance, from a digital backbone that evolves at the speed of software, the Eagle II represents a different approach to air superiority, one that delivers overwhelming power today and adapts for tomorrow. Now here's a question for you. If you were planning future air combat, would you choose stealth alone or a flying arsenal that never stops evolving? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And if this video changed how you see modern air power, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive, because the skies are changing fast.